Alrighty, you are looking live at Sold Out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff-bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 New England Patriots. And why are the New England Patriots 0-16? Because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Randy's here. I gotta move the chair. Hold on a second. Yeah, hold on, buddy. Let me move the chair there. All right, Randy's here. We can continue. Randy's here. All right, anybody out there that's going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. Thank you. It means the world to me. It really does. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away. Throw it in the chat box. I usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. But plus, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever it might wind up being, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free, fire away. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. The second one's called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. And also, if you aren't subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live or I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you're subscribed to my channel, thank you. And then also, in the description box below, there's 2 additional links. The top one is a Facebook link, which I'll go over in just a second. And the second one, it's a Twitter link. It's always been Twitter. It's Twitter today. It'll be Twitter tomorrow. 3 trillion years from now, for me anyway, it'll be Twitter. Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants to call it, that's on him. I'm not calling it. I got a Twitter account. If you follow me, I'll follow you back. That's a promise. I try to put some New York Giants stuff in there every day. And also the link above it takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's a group. We got over 7,100 members in the group. Is doing very, very well. Even in these hard times for us New York Giant fans as this season has been, it's doing very, very well. If I'm alive and breathing, if I have internet access, I'm putting stuff in there darn near almost 365. I'm putting stuff in there all the time, every day. And if you become a member, not only do I put stuff in there, but members post stuff in there as well, too. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants information going in the group every day. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. Join it, become a member. You won't be dissatisfied, I promise. All right, we're all that stuff said and done out of the way. Well, came back. I was, I guess what you call away for the holidays, shall you say. I was living down here in South Jersey, but I went down to South Carolina where spent a few days down where my wife's brother lives in South Carolina. Then we went down to Florida and we had Thanksgiving down there in Florida with my wife's other brother. So my other brother. So I was gone for quite a while. So that's why I was not able to do any videos for the past, whatever it was, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, whatever it was. But we're back here and we'll be able to, I have to take another brief vacation, shall you say, in January. But we'll be able to finish out the rest of the season here. So as they say, we got this game tomorrow against the Patriots, and then we got the bye week, and we got 5 more games, and then the season really never ends, right? Never really ends. But the big game tomorrow, the college draft pick bowl, the Caleb Williams bowl, whatever you want to call it, right? The New York Giants, New England Patriots, whoever really wins actually loses because, both teams are not going anywhere this year. And let's see here. What did we say? I think the Jets just dropped into the top 10, I think it was, with their loss. Yeah. They're number 8 now. Let's see here. The Commanders are number 7. Titans are number 6. Giants are number 5. And then the Patriots are number 3. Patriots are number 3, 2-8. But I'll tell you what, the Patriots, it's hard to it's really hard to look at another team, honestly, and go, man, they're really bad, especially when you compare them with the Giants. Both these teams are really rather atrocious. Just rather atrocious. It's gonna be this kind of the same thing here with the Giants as far as like with the Patriots, meaning there's going to be some turnover there with the Patriots. If they beat the Giants, I don't really, let's take a look here. They got a tough division. Where are we at here? Because and the Patriots are just coming off their bye. And now the Giants they're like different here. The Patriots are just coming off their bye, so they got a couple weeks of being rested up. And they're going to seem like they're going to come into this game tomorrow rather healthy. But the Giants, after this game, they're going to have their bye, so they'll be able to rest up a little bit. Unfortunately, it looks like there's a chance that you can argue if you want, say what you want, right? You can put a good argument in there that the Giants' best ball player, the sexy one, may not be playing tomorrow, so we'll have to wait and see. But let's see here. The Dolphins have to play. They have to play the Chargers at home. Yeah, the Chargers have, Herbert, and they always seem to have a hard time. The Chargers. Then they got to play the Steelers. They got to play the Chiefs. They got to play the Broncos. They got to play the Bills and the Jets. They can possibly pick up another winner here. So, of course, you're kind of hoping. Unfortunately, as time goes by, you kind of hoping more and more. That some of these teams wind up pulling out, some victories. The one thing that pissed me off last week was the Cardinals. They were down. They were down 21-10, I think it was. They scored a touchdown, go up 21. They're down 21-16. I forgot. I'm so pissed off. Still pissed off. You remember who they were playing? So the Cardinals are now 21-16. Well, so and this is where you just sometimes it just take the point. I know it's not whatever an 18-yard, 19-yard field goal like it was the extra point. It's a little more challenging now. I get that, but sometimes this is where you can just start out thinking yourself, and basically that's what happened. They would have just took some points when they had the opportunity. The Cardinals would have an extra win, and it just stuff like that just absolutely just pisses me off. So what happens? The Cardinals go down. It's 21-16. They just scored a touchdown, right? Of course, what happened? Of course, what do? You right? You look at the right. Whatever you want to do. Can I do this here? Have to get the chart up here. Chart says go for 2. Put the 2 fingers up. Go for 2, guys. The chart says go for 2. Let's go for 2, baby. Make it 21-18. We'll only be a field goal away. You tie it up, maybe win it overtime. Here we go, baby. Of course, they go for 2. Of course, they don't get it. So now it's still 21-16. So about 2-3 minutes later, left. 2-3 minutes later, it's like 3, 4, 5 minutes or whatever it is left to go in the game. Cardinals get back down to get down around the 20-yard line. Right? Well, they still need 5 points, right? Because they could have kicked the extra point, which would have 4, but they went for 2 points. They could have get so to make it a 3-point game. So they're down by 5 points, 21-16. It's 4th down and 2, whatever it was, like the 20-yard line. Well, we got to go for it. Really? Is that what the chart says? The chart says go for it. 4th and 2 at the 20. Go for it, baby. Don't kick a field goal. Why would we want to kick a field goal? Absolutely Unbelievable. So of course, they go 4 and 4th and 2. They don't get it. So now it's still 21-16. Unbelievable. They was it the Texans who might have been the Texans? They hold them again, get the ball, come back down the field once again. Down it's like 30 seconds to go or whatever, and they're in field goal range once again for another 3 points. They could easily add 7 more points if they would just take the points. Take the points. I don't give a rap. Chart says go for 2. Chart says, take the points. So if they would have taken the points at the end of that, they were around 20-yard line. Once again, I think got the 4th down or whatever it is, and they had to go for it. They didn't get it, and they lost the game. But if they would kick the field goal, kick the extra point, kick the field goal at the end of the game, of course, I know they're not. I get it. But they were all like 30-something yard extra point / field goal tries. There's a good chance your kicker's going to make them, right? And they could have came away with the dub. But, of course, they outthunk themselves. Way to go. And they got themselves the loss. Way to go, you freaking morons. So, I mean, just stuff just like that just really pisses me off. I can't stand it because, you hope for these teams to win. And of course, then the Bears, right? The Bears are up by 12 points with like about 4 minutes left to go. What do? They give up 2 touchdowns at the end of the game to the Lions. 2 touchdowns in the final, like 3 minutes of the game to the Lions, and they wound up losing, right? Just stuff like that, But unfortunately, see, when the teams have that kind of, and the same thing like with the Patriots of 2 weeks ago when they were in, Germany? I think it was against the Colts. I mean, they lost 10-6. I mean, they could have won that game too. But see, the thing is, when you're voting for teams that only have 2 or 3 wins, they're bad teams. And what the bad teams do, they make bad mistakes, like the Giants. That's why you have 2 or 3 wins. Right, and that's why a lot of teams just still have 2 or 3 wins. They pull the loss out of the victory, jaws of victory. Right, they do whatever they can to come up with the loss, come up with the L. Right, and that's what these loser teams do. So it's tough, but I mean, this is going to be one of the obviously, whoever winds up, winning, that's great. I mean, the Giants will be, if they win, they'll be 4-8. But, they'd have 5 games left, right? We still got 5 games. I can't believe they still actually thinking about keeping the Packer Giant game. I seen, it was a article or whatever it was talking about pulling the Giant Packer game out of prime time. I'm not sure why they didn't do that already. You give the Packers some credit. They thanks to some turnovers, but they beat the Lions on Thanksgiving. Got to give them some credit. But I'm surprised that the Giant Packer game hasn't been pulled off of prime time already. But when the Giants come back, so we'll have got the Rams, right? We got the Packers, we got the Saints, and we got 2 against the Eagles. So even if the Giants win, they'll be 4-8. Maybe they win a couple more. They might be 6-11, somewhere around there, maybe. But if we look now, let's see here. Okay, don't know. All right, so what do we got here? 10. Buccaneers have 4 wins. The Chargers have 4. The Rams have 4. What do we got here? The Packers got 5. So you figure there's a good chance, the Giants will be in, you're looking at the Giants being probably top 10. I mean, because, the Giants, they have, we got the Rams, right? We got the Patriots. Where are the Saints at here? Saints are 5-5, so they're not like, it's not like we're going against Drew Brees, Man, that was always a horror story, especially when he was the quarterback. All right. So, I mean, the Giants got some winnable games, without a doubt. They got the Rams, the Patriots here, right? The Packer game, winnable. Said the Saints. I'm not, I'm not even going to really think too much at all about the Eagle game. The only thing I would consider possibly against the Eagles would be, now the Eagles have a 2-game home field advantage. lead, of course, because they lucked out. They had to get turnovers. Kelsey had to fumble the ball inside the red zone. Mahomes had to throw an interception down in the red zone. That's the only way the Eagles could have won that game. They totally outplayed this. They had a couple long plays that other than that, the Chiefs should have won that, but it is what it is. But the Eagles now have a 2-game lead, right, over all the other teams. Now, the Eagles still have some tough games. They still have to play the Cowboys again. I'd be shocked if the Cowboys lost that one, but anything's possible. But they still have to play the 49ers. They have to play the Bills, right? But I'm saying the only thing would be like if they get to the last game of the season, all right, and just say the Eagles have the lead where even if they lost the final game of the season, it wouldn't matter. They still got the number 1 seed where all the games go through, all the couple playoff games would go through Philadelphia, right? So if they sat all of their regulars and put their backups in there, I guess just maybe the Giants might have a chance of maybe pulling that one out. But that's the only way I can see that happening. But I said, whoever winds up, if the Patriots win this, right, of course, they'll be 3-8. Then the Giants will be 3-8. But the thing is, with this draft, it doesn't go. It's not like head to head. It's not like, well, the Giants beat the Patriots, so they're both 3-8. So the Giants actually, are because the head to head now, the head to head, it's the strength of the schedule, right? So I'm not exactly sure if they both were 3-8, what would happen if the Giants, But if the Giants were to wind up winning. I'm sorry. The Giants won. The Patriots obviously would stop. I'm sorry. If the Patriots won, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm getting it wrong. The Patriots won. The Patriots would be 3-8, and so would the Giants would be 3-8 as well too, right? Or is it 3 and? Sorry, the Giants would both be 3-9. Now the Patriots would be 3-8. Giants would be 3-9 because the Patriots had their bye week already. So they both had 3 wins. I'm not exactly sure, who would be, who would the Giants jump ahead of the Patriots or not? It's all by strength of schedule. So we'll have to wait and see. They got the Cardinals. Obviously, the Bears still have the number 1 pick overall because they had the Panthers pick. The Panthers are 1-9. Cardinals are 2-9, right? But the interesting thing, and I keep bringing that up, is that the interesting thing with the Bears and the Cardinals, and of course, then the Bears also have the 4th pick as well too. Now I'm saying it's interesting because those 2 teams have starting quarterbacks. Now you're not sure, right? If what the Cardinals want to do, what they would think about, do they want to move on from Murray or keep him? What about Justin Fields? What do the Bears want to do with him? Right? Do they want to keep, So quite possibly the first few picks, if the Bears, right, and the Cardinals are all up there in the top 3, 4, whatever, there's a chance they may not be going for quarterbacks. So it'll be interesting to see with the Giants. Even if the Giants wind up in the top, whatever, 6, 7, 8, whatever it winds up being, they got the ammo. They can move up wherever they want to go because they got 2 second-round picks. They got a first-round pick. They can throw in a first-round pick for next year. They got to move up. They can move up, right? Now, it'll be interesting to see because obviously, you're seeing some Marvin Harrison Jr., right? The Giants want to go after being drafting that high. Do they want to take a quarterback? There's some good tackles out there. Is the Evan Neal experience going to come to an end, especially because the guy can't seem to stay healthy? Somewhere along the line, I know it's tough to give up on talent. It's tough to give up on a draft pick that early and stuff. And it's only been 2 years, and I get all that stuff. But somewhere along the line, they're gonna have to make a decision. The body of evidence from this year is not very good. And let's see what do we got here. And once again, I know he's banged up again. Evan Neal, and because he's out with his ankle. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go with the injury report here. Evan Neal, injury report. Evan Neal. All right, here we go. How Evan Neal? Let's see here. He's been, let's see. Against Buffalo, he was questionable with an ankle. Right? Then against Washington, the first time he was questionable with an ankle. Then he was questionable with an ankle against the Jets. Then he was questionable with an ankle against the Raiders. Then he was out with an ankle against the Cowboys. Then he was out ankle against the Redskins. And this week he's out once again against New England. So, the guy is having a very difficult time staying healthy. It's, somewhere along the line, they're going to have to make a decision on him. Let's see. So the Giants, let's see here. Evan Neal's out. Okay. Sexy Dexy is doubtful, and Darius Slayton is doubtful. Darius with his neck and Sexy with his hamstring. Now, the problem with his hamstring, as we saw from Andrew Thomas, is that the hamstrings can be lingering. It could take weeks, it could take a month, it could take even longer, so that you don't know. Eric Ray, they brought him back. He might wind up playing, which would be nice. They activate him from the IR. Gray is returning from his calf injury. Now the thing is, we're going to have to wait and see is, what are they going to do with Gray, right? Are they going to shoot him, right? Or are they going to, not have him active for tomorrow? And if he is active, what's he going to do? You have returning punts? We'll have to wait and see. But the Giants, their injury list is, they have what? One guy, Eric. Well, they got Eric Gray is questionable, but all the other guys, they got a bunch of other guys who are dinged up, but they're all practicing. So as far as I see, I get Eric Gray is questionable, but Slayton's doubtful, Sexy Dexy's doubtful, and Evan Neal is out. Now the Patriots, they got some guys, but for the most part, it doesn't look like anybody's out. They got a bunch of guys who are questionable. Bentley is questionable. The linebacker Brown, their offensive tackle is questionable. Jonathan Jones, the defensive back, is questionable. Devontae Parker, the wide receiver, is questionable. Riley Reif, their offensive tackle, is questionable. Matthew Slater, the wide receiver, he's questionable. And Dietrich Wise Jr., the defensive end, is questionable as well, too. Barmore and Bryant are on there. They were limited, but looks like they'll. So it doesn't look like they have anybody who is out. But I mean, also that is because they just came off of a bye as well, right? They came off a bye, right? They're relatively healthy. Hopefully the Giants, after this week, they come back off their bye. Hopefully, will be somewhat healthy as well too. Not exactly sure, as I said, with the hamstring for the Sexy one. And once again, as we saw with Andrew Thomas, that thing could linger. So hopefully we don't lose him. You want to try to make the Patriots beat you with with their weakness, which is their passing game is not super spectacular, as we saw. Mac Daddy Jones, they even benched him in that last game against the Colts over in Germany. And they put Zappy in there, and he, of course, I think he threw like a couple pass. One of them, the last one was an interception. So they're not super spectacular, right? They're not an offensive juggernaut. I mean, they go head to head with the Giants as far as patheticness, as far as offense. Now let's see what the Giants right now. Okay, they're averaging 13.5 points a game, which is pretty good because, a couple weeks ago it was 11 points a game. So we're up to 13.5. Oh, my God. But the Patriots are not much better. The Patriots are 14.1 points per game. So, but we're not looking at offensive juggernauts here. by any stretch of imagination, whatever. So, but you want to try to make the, I would try to, if anything, make the Patriots beat you, right? Make the quarterbacks try to beat you. Now, the problem is now if the sexy one can't go, or even if he can go, you're kind of wondering what his effectiveness is going to be. Now, they did not do a very good job. I mean, they've had a hard time ever since they dealt away Leonard Williams, Leo the Lion. Once they dealt him away, their Russian defense has not been very good at all. I mean, we can see that here. I mean, my goodness, what they gave up against the Cowboys: 168 yards rushing to the Cowboys, 174 last week to the Commanders. I mean, they gave up 400. They've given up over 1,000 yards. They've given up almost 1,050 yards of defense in the past 2 weeks. I mean, you give up almost 1,050 yards of offense in 2 games. I mean, that's really, really sad. Really, really sad. Thankfully, the Giants got their 6 turnovers against the Commanders. I mean, if it wasn't for the 6 turnovers. So they're going to need some of that. But I mean, the problem is that, that you lost Leonard Williams, right? Especially that hurts the running game. Now, even if Sexy Dexy can go in there with this hamstring, he's going to be, hampered. Even if he is playing and he's got that hamstring, he's going to be hampered a little bit. Okay. One of the things that makes, gives like McFadden and maybe a Carrick a good leg up as far as makes them so much more dynamic maybe in the running game, right? Is if you got the guys up front who are able to consume blocks, right? Or make it where the blockers can't get to the second level, right? But I mean, if you got guys like Sexy one, you got to put 2 guys on it. A healthy Sexy, you got to get 2 guys on it. And that helps free up the guys behind them, right? And, if you get a Carrick, McFadden, they can do their thing, right? But if you got guys, maybe, Nunez, Roaches, maybe one guy can take him on, right? If somebody else is out, Jordan Riley or whoever, if one guy can block him, now that frees up other blockers maybe to go to the second level, right? So the Giants, they need to, it would be great if they could slow down the Patriots their running game and make them try to beat them with their passing game. Their passing game is just about as bad as the Giants is. Now they got one guy who has over 400 yards receiving, and that's it. Just like the Giants. Kendrick Bourne. He's 37 receptions for 406 yards. They got one guy, Demario Douglas. He has 361 receiving yards. And then Hunter Henry, the tight end, who has 298 receiving yards. Right? So, I mean, they're basically the same thing as the Giants. They have 9 guys who have over 100 yards receiving. The Giants have 8 guys. The Giants, Slayton, who may not even be playing, he leads the Giants with 419 yards receiving, and that's in 11 games. You got ABC Lamb, who gets 419 yards in like 3 games, and we got Darius Slayton, who's played in 11 games, and he has 419 yards receiving. Giants, Jalen Hyatt has 221 yards receiving. Darren Waller has 384. He would be our leading receiver, but he's been out for quite some time now with the hamstring. We can certainly nice to get him back. We got Wan'Dale Robinson, who has 239 receiving yards. Right, and he's doing pretty good. He's especially because he missed a couple games. Now he's played in 9. Wan'Dale Robinson, and he's 239 yards receiving. So, but the Giants obviously were on a 3rd-string quarterback. Yeah. What I would like to see is if we could, try to give Saquon, right, let him do what he's been doing. He's done a pretty good job these past few games as far as getting some yards for the Giants, right? I would try to feed him, get him the ball, and then obviously now we have a bye week. Maybe he can rest up a little bit, right? But I mean, because the one thing that the Patriots are good at, passing defense. Now, let's see if I find the defense here. Is this the defense or is this the offense? That's the offense. All right. I mean, both teams are rather pathetic as far as offense. Let me tell you what. But defense here, and both teams, neither one does very good at sacking. I think the Patriots have 18 sacks all season long. Okay. So we're not facing the Cowboys. We're not facing the 49ers. No big, huge pass rush here. All right. So hopefully if Mr. DeVito can, avoid getting a lot of sacks, maybe we get some yards. But as I said, the Patriots are very good as far as their pass defense. Now the Patriots they have 18 sacks and the Giants have 19. Of course, half of the Giants sacks were Kayvon, right? But you also look too is that the Patriots only played in 10 games. The Giants have played in 11. So if the Patriots played in 11 games, they might have another sack or two on their, so they might actually have more sacks than the Giants. But still, whether they got 18, 19 or whatever, it's just really, really sad. Oddly enough, interesting enough, the Ravens, after 11 games, have 44 sacks. They lead the NFL in sacks. Now, what's just kind of odd about that is because, Wink Martindale obviously was there a couple of years ago. And, he would get pressure, maybe get some sacks and all, but he would never have like a big-time sack guy. Now, Kayvon is the first guy ever, right, who Wink has ever had, who's had himself double-digit sack season. So Kayvon Thibodeau, right? But, I mean, the Ravens are doing very, very well, as far as sacking the quarterback. But let's see here. Passing yards. Now, I said the Giants' defense is giving up 2,603 passing yards. So we're kind of far down there. The Patriots are giving up 2,288. Now, of course, once again, the Patriots only played in 10 games. And the Patriots giving up 229 yards a game passing. So, I mean, not bad. 229 yards, not bad. Not too bad at all. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Yards per play. The Patriots give up a lot. Oh, not a lot, but they've given up fewer yards per play than the Giants do. The Giants give up 5.8 yards per play on defense, right? The Patriots give up 5 yards. The Patriots are like tied for 8th. They only give up 5 yards per play. And just to go to show you, I mean, where we at here? The Eagles. And the Eagles give up 5.2 yards per play on defense. So the Eagles' defense is not that good. Not that good. And just to go to show you, I mean, they're just to go show you how bad they're deep. Not horrible. Don't get me wrong. They stepped up big time against the Chiefs in the second half. The Chiefs didn't even score any points at all in the second half of that game. But I mean, just to go to show you, let's see here where the sacks at here. I mean, the Eagles were like running away with the sacks last year. I mean, they had like all those sacks the Eagles had. Eagles, let's see where the Eagles are at here. And the Eagles certainly still get their sacks. But the Eagles are 31 sacks. So the Eagles are only, let's see where they play. They played 10 games because they had their bye week. So the Eagles only get 3 sacks a game, which is, still not bad. Don't get me wrong. But let's see here. Passing. I said, I'm sorry, rushing yards. Rushing yards per attempt here. Okay, so the Giants are like the worst. Sorry. Giants are the 30th. They give up 4.8 yards rushing. Right. And now and a lot of that's now Leo's gone, and if Sexy Dexy can't go, the Giants, could be in some trouble here. All right, the where we at? Yards per attempt on defense here. The Patriots, where the heck are they? Patriots are number 2. Patriots, their run defense is very good. I mean, actually, all around the Patriots do have a decent defense. They do have a decent defense. They said they're only giving up 3 which is tied for number 1. Their defense. The Bears and the Patriots both giving up 3.4 yards per attempt. The what we got here? Patriots have given up 977 rushing yards. The Giants have given up 1,486. The Giants, I mean, obviously the Giants have played an extra game, but the Giants have given up over 500 more rushing yards than the Patriots have. 3.4 yards per attempt. So it may not be that easy just to give Saquon the rock. It's something you're going to have to keep pounding them with. That the Patriots have a good passing defense, so that if any, the advantage the Patriots would have, especially in this game, would be their defense, right? I mean, the Giants, we got the win last week and all, but regardless, we had to get the 6 turnovers, right? Without that, would the Giants have won? Don't know. The turnovers are going to be huge in this game. Can the Giants get any turnovers at all from the Patriots? Can DeVito? Can he stay? He has to. Can't turn nothing over, right? Can't give the Patriots any short field at all or anything. I mean, this is going to be it certainly could be some scoring in this game. I mean, if you get some mistakes here or there and all, but I mean, obviously, you look for something to be, this is. I mean, one team averages 14 points a game, the other one averages 13. I mean, that's some pretty sad statistics there. Let's see. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Patriots are even favored in this game. Yeah. Patriots are 3.5-point favorites. So, yeah, that's even if the Giants are home, right? The Patriots even have a worse record. The Giants are home, and I think the Patriots are still favored. So it says here, I got this article here from SI. It says when the Giants have the ball, Tommy DeVito in his second career start against the Commanders last week, he shined, but can he do that against the Patriots? Now, there's a little different animal. The Patriots defense, and not only the Patriots defense, but we're also going against Bill Belichick, right? So going into last Sunday's game, the Commanders were in the bottom tier of the NFL in practically every passing defensive stat category. The Patriots aren't the best in the league as a passing defense, but they're also far from the worst. Now, once again, this is the theory of the Einstein theory of relativity. Everything's relative. When your offense sucks, like the Patriots do, you get the ball, 1, 2, 3, punt. Your defense comes back on the field. Maybe they try their hardest and all this, that, and they get the ball back to you. Your offense sucks. So the Patriots get the ball, 1, 2, 3, punt. They punt again. Your defense, right? I mean, after a while, your defense, a lot of times what winds up happening, they start getting tired and whatever. They start getting up some yards and all that. But if you got a good offense and your offense is on the field with the ball and the clock is tick, 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 and you're controlling the clock and you're controlling the ball and you're getting first downs and move the chains, another first down, and your defense is on the sideline drinking Kool-Aid. How many points are they giving up? Not many. If they're on the sideline drinking Kool-Aid, how many yards are they giving up? Not many. Theory, everything's all relative. So when your defense is doing pretty decent like the Patriots are, and your offense sucks, it's you gotta take a step back, and the Patriots have a good defense. They got a good defense, right? So. The Patriots' first-round rookie cornerback, Christian Gonzalez, started his career on the right foot as he was emerging as the Defensive Rookie of the Year candidate just a couple of games into the season. However, he suffered a torn labrum in Week 4 and has sidelined him ever since. So, the Patriots' defense has been good, and they've lost Gonzalez, right? Although he doesn't play the same position as Gonzalez, safety Kyle Duggar has stepped up in his place. The 27-year-old is top 3 on the team in tackles for loss, pass breakups, and interceptions. The Giants receiving corps has yet to do much this season as a top pass catcher is just north of 400 yards, and Darius Slayton may not even play. So Duger is certainly capable of keeping this group in check and limiting DeVito from creating explosive plays, which is quite possible. Additionally, Duger, it's either Duger or Duggar, has shown that he's effective when blitzing, as applying pressure on the teams that's allowed by far the most sacks in the NFL this season may not be as challenging as it normally is. That said, he didn't show it much last week, but in the past, DeVito has been a bit too quick to leave the pocket and run the ball himself. This strategy hasn't exactly worked out in his favor, and Duger would most likely win these battles if DeVito runs toward him. However, if DeVito is poised and makes smart decisions away from Duger, he and the Giants offense could shine again. It could. Ain't going to be easy. Because, I mean, the Giants, their biggest, obviously their biggest weapon has been Waller, and he ain't going to be on the field, right? Obviously the Giants' next biggest weapon would be Saquon. Now, he'll be back there, but as it said, the Patriots have a very good run defense. It'll be tough to gain yards on the Giants, so not going to be easy. Not going to be easy at all. Let's see. Now with the Patriots at the ball, like the Giants, the Patriots haven't had much excitement this season, especially on the offensive side of the ball. It seems like quarterback Mac Daddy Jones is on the verge of moving down the depth chart every week, and the Patriots still haven't named a starter for Sunday's matchup. Now, whether it's him or Zappy, I mean, there's not, Mac Daddy has certainly had some good games in the past, right? He has had some good games in the past. Now, I don't know, what they plan on doing here with Zappy. I mean, if they, but it is what it is. Have to keep an eye out. But they're averaging 14 points a game for a reason. Let's see here. Nevertheless, they are utilized for many different purposes. Let's see. They got the running backs, Stevenson and Zeke, right? The latter joined the Patriots before the season, despite Stevenson being commonly placed as a breakout candidate. Nevertheless, they are utilized for different purposes and will be two players the Giants must watch. Stevenson is well ahead through the air and on the ground, but he only has 2 more first downs than Elliott. And good old Zeke is very familiar with the New York Football Giants. The Patriots sometimes uses Elliott for second, third, fourth, and short. He'll typically carry the ball up the middle, move the chains, as he's done 23 times this season. And it hasn't been that easy to stop. And one thing I can't stand, I hate seeing Zeke do this. I can't stand when that freaking guy does that. However, Giants linebacker Micah McFadden does a very solid job of preventing opposing running backs from moving a step forward, as he leads New York in tackles for loss with 10. The former 5th-round pick is having quite the sophomore campaign, and he's one of just 19 defensive players with double-digit tackles for loss this season. Stopping Zeke a couple of times on those 50-50 chain-moving snaps can provide momentum for the Giants. But as previously stated, Stevenson gets more time on the field. That said, the Giants have another linebacker that could help out. Mr. Okereke is stellar at stopping running backs a split second after the ball is handed to them. And he's at the top 10 of the league in combined stat consisting tackles and tackles for loss for no gain. It appears that the Giants have struck gold with the free agent signing of Okereke. So that's one good thing the Giants have going for him this season, right? As he leads the team in tackles with 105 and is second in tackles for loss with 9. He's in the top 10 in the NFL for both of these stat categories. Okereke should have the upside in stopping Stevenson on the ground, but though the air is perhaps a more difficult challenge. The linebacker has the second most pass breakups on the team with 6, which will help when Stevenson has routes over the middle, right? But the running back is only 5 receptions away from the team lead, as Jones often checks the ball down to Stevenson before around the point that he crosses the line of scrimmage. In these cases, Okereke must be fast enough to reach Stevenson before he breaks it loose. If the linebacker succeeds, the Patriots offense will have much more trouble moving the ball downfield. One thing preventing this from happening is that Okereke isn't 100% healthy from his hip and rib injury just yet. Now he's got the rib. Yeah, it's got to be painful. He doesn't participate in Wednesday's practice, but was limited on Thursday. So if Okereke is good to go, he and McFadden can doom the Patriots offense by shutting Stevenson and Ezekiel down. But, I mean, it goes both ways. I mean, let's not forget, right, who's in front of those two guys, right? I mean, let's also not forget, we've had Leo the line for most of the season, and yet Sexy Dexy, right? Which they consume blocks, which allows the guys behind them to come and do their thing, right? When you only maybe need one guy to block, if Sexy can't get in there, if he can't play, if you only need one guy to maybe block Jordan Riley or Nunez Roaches, or right, that frees up maybe another block. Maybe somebody can get to the second level, try to take out Okereke McFadden, right? So let's not forget that some of these guys are having some good stats this season, but a lot has to do with who's in front of them. And if Sexy can't go, that could be a huge loss for the Giants. I mean, the Giants' offense, the defense has been susceptible to the run ever since we let Williams go. Now, if we also wind up leaving, if Sexy can't go as well, too, that's going to be tough. Let's see here. Where we at here? This is the defense. This is the offense here. Now, let's see here. Where we at? The offense. Rushing yards here. Now, the Giants are up there rushing 1,227 rushing yards. Okay, where the Patriots at? The Patriots are pretty far down there, 949. But once again, they've only played in 10 games. But, so you figure if they played another game, they'd probably have maybe around 1,100 rushing yards, which would put them, not in the middle of the pack, number 19 or number 20 or so. So that, they're not super spectacular. They only average 3.9 yards a carry. The Giants aren't much better. They have 4 yards a carry. So, I mean, neither team, his offense is going to wow you. Let's see, what do we got here? Giants are worse in the league in passing. And we've even, there's teams that have had bye weeks that have only played 10 games and they still have more passing yards than the Giants. The Giants are the worst team in the NFL. We have 1,657 passing yards in 11 games. Patriots aren't much better. They have almost 2,000 passing yards in 10 games. So they average about 200 yards a game passing. Right? The Giants have 1,657 in 11 games. So, I mean, the Giants have, 10 passing touchdowns and 9 interceptions. The Patriots have 10 passing touchdowns and 11 interceptions. So, once again, I mean, this is not going to be, I said what could hurt the Giants would be if Sexy Dexy can't go. That could really hurt their running game. Really, their run defense. Do apologize. And the more they can run, it's going to help the pass. So, it's going to be, and now once again, does this mean it's going to be a 12-10 game? Doesn't necessarily mean that. It could be 24-23. It could be 27-20, something like that. But a lot of it might have to do with turnovers. Can the Giants get some turnovers? Right? Can their defense set the offense up in some good positions? Right? Can the Giants stay away from getting turnovers? Right? Because that would really help the Patriots out. That's not always, it's also not forget, Bill Belichick on the sideline, pretty good coach. So, I mean, I wouldn't look for anything super spectacular as far as points, but if turnovers are involved, anything can happen. I just hope, the Giants just play decent. You'd like to see, if anything, some improvement, play a good game, good sound game, maybe come away with the W. That would be fantastic. But, of course, you want a W no matter what, regardless, But in this season, right, if we do wind up coming away with the loss, we'll be 3-8. We'll still be in the top 5 as far as draft picks, and then at least we'll have a bye week. Maybe get a little healthy. Maybe the Giants can pull a few games out toward the end of the season. right? And I said the one interesting game would be that final game against the Eagles, right? If the Eagles are, have the number 1 seed wrapped up, right, and they can rest their starters, maybe the Giants might have a chance in that one. But also the one thing is too is you got to think about, right, is that if the Eagles have the number 1 seed wrapped up by the last week, they rest their starters. It's almost like a catch-22. It's like almost you're screwed if you do. Screwed because if he puts his starters in there and a couple of them get injured, he's going to get crucified. The other thing is that you got to think about resting your starters, right? That means that, say, week 17, right, which will be the second to last week of the season. I'm just talking about if the Eagles, final game of the season against the Giants, they have everything wrapped up and they can, they don't need the game. They got the number 1 seed. Do they rest or are they playing maybe half a game? Because if week 17 said they win and they got everything wrapped up, right? Do they want to rest their starters for week 18 and then they have a bye week and then they got the playoffs? So basically, the guys will be off their starters will be off for 3 weeks. Would they want to do that? I don't know. Penei G-Man, yeah. Yeah, well, I was gone. I was in South Carolina for like 3 or 4 days, and then I went to Florida for like 4 days. My wife's one brother is in South Carolina, and my other wife's brother was in Florida. So we went. I was gone for like 8, 9 days, 10 days, whatever it was. We left. When did we leave? We left like last Wednesday, and we finally came back today. So whatever it was, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, whatever it was. So I was gone for a while, so I wasn't able to do any videos back then. But it is what it is. But I'm back now, and I should be able to move forward. The only other time I'll miss will be this. Was it right around Christmas? I'm going to be in Florida. Me and my son, we're going to be watching the Cowboys and the Dolphins game. That's Christmas Eve. So I'll miss like 1 or 2 days there. But other than that, I'll be back for the rest of the season. Rest of this painful season. So the Giants win tomorrow. Cool. But as I said in my thumbnail, it's kind of like, and nobody's going to tank. Neither one of these teams is going to tank. You go out there to win. Both teams are playing to win. And you'll never be able to tell me otherwise. Everybody's out there to play. But unfortunately, whoever winds up winning in the long end is kind of loses, The Giants are number 5 now. If they wind up winning and they get picked number 4, they'll obviously slide them back farther in the pack. So, we'll have to wait and see. But, the Giants have to limit the turnovers. They have to, DeVito has to do a decent job. I'm sure Belichick will do a good job as trying to confuse them as best they can. They got a good run defense. So it may not be that easy for them to try to, get a lot of yards. That's the one thing that the Patriots have going for them. They got that good defense. Neither team's got a good offense. Let me tell you what, boy. This could almost be as bad as that Jet game, right? I mean, as brutal as that game was, there was a 10-7 with 30 seconds to go. So, I mean, doesn't mean it's going to be that low scoring because if there's some turnovers in there and stuff like that, obviously the score could certainly go into the 20s without question. But for the Giants to win this one, they got to try to feed Saquon, and they got to limit those turnovers. And whoever the Patriots do put in there, whether it's Mac Daddy Jones or Zappy, whoever they got in their quarterback, they got to try to get some turnovers. And if Dexter Lawrence can't go, boy, I'll tell you, that's really going to hurt our run defense. Really going to hurt it. Because it's been susceptible ever since we let Leo the Lion go, or we traded him away. And now if Sexy Dexy can't go, that's going to jeopardize us, Or even if he can go with his hamstring, he may not be as good as he can be. So it might be tough, very, very tough. So look for a close game. I don't even want to make a prediction on this one. We got a 3rd-string quarterback in there. We got some guys all banged up. I wouldn't even want to make a prediction with this one. Honest to God, anything can happen. Just look for a good game. Hopefully the Giants come away with the W. Hey, they will be 4-8 after tomorrow. And going into the bye, right? And we get some guys rested up, and maybe we can win a few more games toward the end of the season. The big thing is, if we get some guys healthy, right, and get it's tough to have momentum for next season, but maybe something to build on. You know what I mean? Maybe get some guys back and a little healthy, and hey, we won whatever 5 of our final 8 games, right? Get something to get excited about for next season. All right, Vinny G-Man, I'm out of here. I'll be back tomorrow, right after the game's over. We can we can do a recap on the Patriots and the New York Giants, the Caleb Williams Bowl, right? All right, guys, it's been 55 minutes. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.